Good evening. I'm meteorologist Angela Buchman back with you on WTHR Plus for another live severe weather update as we remain under a weather impact alert due to the threat of severe weather. Tornado watch that was issued earlier still in effect for a couple of our counties north and west. It was extended east, and the farther you go east, that is a longer watch that goes until 2 o'clock in the morning. We may see some additional watches issued during the overnight hours. Weather impact alert this evening through 5 p.m. on Wednesday. We've got some intense storms now and more storms expected the early half of tomorrow. Follow the forecast closely, know that safety plan, keep your cell phone charged, and when you go to bed tonight, make sure the ringer is on so that you have a way to get alerted if severe weather happens very early tomorrow morning before you wake up. And speaking of severe weather, we've been tracking this tornado warning, confirmed tornado warning. In fact, we've seen some video out of northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana. Pretty impressive, unfortunately, and it continues now with a confirmed tornado warning just to the northeast of Rensselaer. So we'll be looking at this as it moves off to the east. Who will be in the path of it next? Into Plymouth, looks like it'll stay north of Rochester, but then perhaps toward Napanee, Warsaw, Ligonier. This is Syracuse Lake and up toward Lake Wawasee, so something we'll keep an eye on as this storm that has produced a tornado, at least a couple of them, will continue to make its way off to the east and in an environment that continues to support rotation and tornadoes. Additional warnings into the northern half of Illinois, into northwestern Illinois, into parts of Iowa, into northern Missouri. This is a long line of storms, severe storms capable of producing tornadoes and large hail. Some of the pictures coming out of northern Illinois, we're talking softball size hail and bigger. So some destructive thunderstorms and some dangerous thunderstorms with that tornado threat. Tornado watch extended east to include South Bend and Elkhart until 2 a.m. And again, we will wait and see what the Storm Prediction Center does with a couple of these watches, if additional watches might be necessary to get us through the overnight. North of there, it's a severe thunderstorm watch, possibility of big hail producers in this area. And then once you go from Milwaukee, just a couple of counties north up toward Green Bay, those are winter weather advisories, really showing the power of this storm system. What we have happening, we had a lake breeze come off Lake Michigan, interact with a warm front, and it's right along that boundary that we have the severe storms setting up. North of the boundary, they are hail-producing storms. Along and south, tornado-producing storms, and this is something that we're going to continue to keep an eye on. Almost a 40-degree temperature difference from the 39 in Chicago to the 77 still in St. Louis. For us, the greatest tornado threat is across the northwestern part of the state, but it's not zero locally, so we're going to have to watch radar carefully overnight and into early on Wednesday. We do think it'll be the early half of the day that we have that increased threat of severe weather. Future Track 13 showing those storms across northwestern Indiana into northern Illinois, and for now through 11 p.m. that's where they stay. Now eventually this front will come south, but right now the thinking is that's going to be at least after midnight and maybe closer to 3-4 o'clock tomorrow morning. And in addition to that boundary, we may have another cluster of storms developing. We're always concerned with storms that develop out ahead of a front that could quickly rotate, quickly turn severe. So stick with us overnight and early tomorrow, as it does look like this is going to have an impact, unfortunately, on that Wednesday morning drive. We stay under the threat of severe weather, not as great as it was today, but still that threat. And remember, still not a zero tornado threat. So we need to watch the storm development carefully. Also, in addition to the storms with tornado potential, damaging wind, large hail, flooding could be an issue as well. Most of our creeks, rivers, streams still running high from all of the storm activity and rain from last week. Future Track 13 shows the rain around off and on most of the day tomorrow. That severe threat eventually pushes southeast of central Indiana, and that should happen come late afternoon, early evening for us. And then we'll focus on a big temperature drop that's coming on Thursday. We'll go from a near 70 tomorrow to 30 Thursday morning, wind chills in the 20s, and then a high of only 48 on Thursday afternoon. 58 Friday, 55 Saturday, 71 Sunday. May end up with another round of storms Sunday later in the day, and then behind it, an even bigger temperature drop, mid-30s for highs the early part of next week, and we may end up with a few flurries as well. I'm meteorologist Angela Buchman. I will restart this just in case you're just joining us and curious about the severe threat that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. And yes, we will have another live update for you coming up at 10 o'clock. For now, tornado watch continues up to the north. For us, severe storm threat all the way through tomorrow, coming in a couple of waves. The one so far tonight has been to our north, but storms likely, and thinking now it's going to be the early half of Wednesday with an impact on that Wednesday morning drive. Radar is quiet now, except across the northern part of the state. This continues to be a confirmed tornado warning. If it continues, and it should in this environment off to the east, Plymouth would be in the path, Napanee, Goshen, Ligonier, Warsaw. So we're just north of Rochester and just to the south of places like South Bend, Elkhart, and southwest of Fort Wayne. So if you're not familiar with the northern part of the state, there is South Bend. And right now that cell that's produced tornadoes looks to stay just south of the South Bend area. There are additional storms across northern Illinois and northwestern Illinois, eastern Iowa into northern Missouri. This is a big weather system, high impact storm system, from a tornado threat to a severe thunderstorm threat. North of the boundary, hail, softball size, bigger. We're seeing some of the pictures come out of Illinois, and then a winter weather advisory on the cold side of this weather system. Lake breeze interacting with a warm front. That's the reason we have severe weather. Locally, we have temperatures. I stepped outside. It's still very warm, upper 60s and low 70s, and it is still dry. For now, no threat of severe weather in our immediate future, but just know the threat is not zero, so we're going to keep an eye on radar overnight and early tomorrow. Future Track 13, if this verifies, we're quiet through 11 p.m., quiet through 2 a.m. It'll be after that, closer to the sunrise, closer to the morning drive, that we have pockets of heavy rain, maybe some severe storms. So if this timeline verifies, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 in the morning through mid to late morning for the greatest severe threat. It's a little lower than what we're dealing with today, but again, we stay under that threat of severe weather, and additional rain could lead to some flooding, anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch, inch and a half of rain expected. Future Track 13 into the mid-morning hours, off and on rain and storms in the Wednesday forecast. Threat moves south and east of us by late afternoon, early evening. And then just a cool Thursday coming. We'll go from 70s the last couple of days to a high of only 48 on Thursday afternoon. 58 on Friday, a little breezy, 55 Saturday, up to 71 Sunday. We'll keep you updated on a storm chance Sunday evening and some snow flurries around on Monday with another round of some colder air as it is back to winter. I'm meteorologist Angela Buchman. We will be keeping you updated here on WTHR Plus. It is about 12 minutes after 9 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. I'll have another update for you shortly. We'll do that at the top of the hour at 10, and we'll have another full report for you over on Channel 13 at 11.